Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man G Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where my colors uneven. Edutainment explains it. Yeah, I threw on the cardigan today. I'm trying to look snazzy for y'all. Look here, y'all. I am celebrating Black artists and writers. At least in this video. I might do it a little more depending on how well it is or isn't received. I have selected a number of artists and writers who I feel, at least to me, have made that impact in my life, one way or another. So let's get off into that. But before we do, let's do what we need to do so we can do what we want to do. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this page right here so that when new material comes out, you get it. Turn on your notifications. Tap that bell. If you're digging with a brother shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. How come? How come? How come? Because edutainment. In no particular order, meaning I don't place one above the other. They have all made significant contributions to the art form. Okay. I guess I'm going to go number one. I mean, not number one, but the first one on my list, of course, is Reginald Hudlin. Reginald Hudlin does movies. Remember House Party? Reginald Hudlin does comics. Reginald Hudlin's probably the one that stands out the most to me, of course, is his run on Black Panther. That right there. That right there. That right there. Who is the Black Panther? He kind of retold the origin story of T'Challa the Black Panther in a way that we liked, and a few other people liked so much that elements of it were incorporated into the Black Panther movie in 2018. Another significant contribution by Reginald Hudlin in Black Panther, this volume, issue 2, he gave us, yep, that's Shuri. You may not recognize her because she looks so badass and tough. But yeah, that's Shuri. Eventually had to go through a lot of hoops and things to become a Black Panther, which is what she always wanted to do from the get-go. When we see this particular run, Shuri became popular. Shuri became ultra mega popular. So much so that she too ended up being a prominent feature in the Black Panther movie. She also became animated. Avengers Assemble had that. And I liked her in Avengers Assemble because she had that comic book sauce. You know what I mean? She was more comic book behaving Shuri. She did have her smarts, but Shuri went on to not only become a Black Panther, but she also became the Aja Adana, the griot. And the power she has as the griot stand head and shoulders, in my opinion anyway, for her, above Black Panther powers. Okay, anamorph, size alteration, body transformation. That's a gang better, or more useful, or can be incorporated into many different situations. That's neither here nor there. We just talk about Reginald Hudlin's contribution to the art form. Thank you, Mr. Hudlin. Another individual whose contribution to the art form does not go unnoticed. And in recent days, you know what I'm saying? We got Mr. Brian Edward Hill. Screenwriter, he's a screenwriter. I want to say, I want to correct that I didn't add that he was a screenwriter or ask the question if he was a screenwriter. I actually knew that, but I asked the question in my video, let Brian Hill do the Blade movie. I knew it. But he's known by me more so for comics, and that's why that jumped right out of my mouth. Apologies, Mr. Hill. Right now, Brian Edward Hill is kicking complete and total ass on Blade. He has tweaked and freaked Blade in ways we haven't seen him done since 1998. He has definitely made Blade not only a badass, but a staple in comics. So when we talk about black superheroes, we can't even have that conversation without bringing up Eric Brooks, aka Blade. Thank you, Mr. Hill, for this significant contribution. Somebody else I want to talk about, for me, that's made a significant contribution to me. That there is Keith Pollard. Keith Pollard was doing Fantastic Four in the 80s. He did that run that we got the Salem 7 out of. See, so they ain't just on comics writing. They making major inroads, making stuff happen. Also, I had fun reading a Spider-Man run in the 80s that Keith Pollard was responsible for the art on. And he was in such issues as, or his work was in such issues as 194, the first ever appearance of the Black Cat. 186, where Spider-Man is no longer a fugitive. 193, where the spider meets the fly. And of course, issue 200, where the spider meets the burglar, who for the most part is responsible for Spider-Man being responsible. Thank you again, Mr. Pollard, for making stuff happen like this. Who else do I want to talk about? Somebody who has made artwork very near and dear to my heart, that I ain't gonna forget no time soon. That's this man right here, Mr. Billy Graham. Mr. Billy Graham, rest in power, was a artist on Jungle Action, and Billy Graham gave us stuff like this. I'll never forget this image. This image is forever burned into my little brain cells, because all I was thinking about when I was looking at it was like, wow, not only does Monica Lynn look like a woman, Monica Lynn look like a black woman. There ain't no doubt in your mind. That's a black woman right there. Period. Point freaking blank. And he continued to make Monica Lynn look like all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the images now, and I'm like, wow, you went on ahead and did that. Billy Graham gave us fantastic art during that Jungle. Oh goodness, I'm yawning. I'm sorry. During that Jungle Action run, even introduced us to Killmonger. Introduced us to a lot of villains who could be used today. Hint, hint, hint. Comic book artists, writers, a lot of good villains just laying around in that Jungle Action run that y'all could totally pick up on and make some stuff happen with. Another individual who is a fave of mine would be Sanford Green. Sanford Green is an Eisner award-winning comic book artist. What is Mr. Sanford Green's claim to fame? If you ain't rocking with him, then you would have no idea. That man put this down right here. Bitterroot, the further adventures of the demon hunting family known as the Sangeryays during the Harlem Renaissance. That in and of itself, I absolutely love and adore. And for that alone, Sanford Green, along with Mr. Brown and Walker, y'all doing it. And I ain't mad at y'all. Matter of fact, I absolutely love what they do. And then as we get down here, towards the stretch, I'm gonna start hitting you with these legendaries, and y'all like, what? Them cats they ain't legendary. They ain't legendary. Now, well, I'm gonna tell you about this. What y'all know about Arvell Jones? Okay, Arvell Jones did a lot of comics in the 70s and 80s. He worked for both the big two, and is an amazing artist in his own right. My favorite work by Arvell Jones, even though his longest run, I think his longest run was on the milestone stuff. He had a nice run on All-Star Squadron. I think in the late 80s, when All-Star Squadron, was a popular book. And Arvell Jones did some outstanding work in that book. But the work that stands out the most for him, in my mind, and the stuff that I was introduced to him, was in the pages of Marvel Premiere with that Iron Fist run. So okay, let me stop. I'm not doing justice. That's the exterior. That's Gil Kane, if I'm not mistaken. But here's Arvell Jones right here. And look who was writing that story that Arvell Jones is illustrating. Tony Isabella. 2 years before he creates Black Lightning, no less. So he has made major contribution to the comic book world. Thank you, Arvell Jones, for doing what you do so well. Speaking of people who do stuff really well, one of my absolute favorite artists, that would have to be the one, the only. Dennis Cowan, y'all. Give it up for Dennis Cowan. Dennis Cowan, he did my most favorite Black Panther 4-issue temp back in 88. That's the one where he ends up getting ripped apart by Bast in the finale because she like, you got to be a better avatar of me. And he also faces the Apartheid Justice League, aka the Supremacists. That was an amazing 4-issue run. Also, absolutely adored his hardware work. Off the chain, man. Always, he has a very unique style of art, and it's cool. Period. And Dennis Cowan, y'all. Please give it up for the Dennis Cowan. Also, and again, another classic artist, prolific artist, memorable artist. Of course, talking about writer Christopher Priest. Of course, usually when I say Christopher Priest, everybody automatically thinks Black Panther. Yeah, I think that too. But you don't know what else I think about? Think about Quantum and Woody. I think about when Christopher Priest used to be known as Jim Owsley. That's his original government name. But because he is I believe he is a ordained minister now, he's simply known as Priest. And I believe that is one of the reasons why he changed his name to Christopher Priest, because his middle birth name was Christopher. Besides that, he gave us Quantum and Woody. He was the first Black writer editor in mainstream comics. That in and of itself is the feather, not a feather, the feather in his cap. So that right there is Christopher Priest, y'all. Give it up for Christopher Priest. Now, we getting deeper. As the hits keep coming, these guys ain't getting no less prestigious. Now, the last two guys I want to talk about, of course, are in their own right a couple of the best to do it. M.D. Bright, Mark Bright, also known affectionately as Doc, is a comic book artist who gave us a lot of memorable imagery. Emerald Dawn, the retelling of the Green Lantern origin story. Look underneath Emerald Dawn. Look who wrote it. See, he was busy, man. He was doing his thing. And artwork, of course, by M.D. Bright. You know what else M.D. Bright is famous for illustrating? Yeah, Armor Wars. I don't think he would have approved of Disney's version of Armor Wars, because it just seems to tear his work apart. But yeah, he did Icon, Buck Wild. That's all I'm going to say. If you don't know about Buck Wild, go back, and your homework is to read some Icon featuring Buck Wild. He's a Luke Cage knockoff. And I can't talk about Black artists. I can't talk about what Black artists do. I can't talk about what Black artists have done. I can't talk about how the bar is set for Black artists without talking about this man. That's Dwayne McDuffie, y'all. I think out of everybody on this list, Dwayne McDuffie has probably had his hands in the most successfully, right? Is that what we doing? Okay, let's do it like this. We already know. That right there is Dwayne McDuffie redefining the Fantastic Four to bring the husband and wife team of T'Challa and Aurora into the fold instead of Reed and Sue. We got the Silver Surfer arm bar out of this run right here, along with a lot of other stuff. Storm and her cosmic lightning. There's so much stuff came to pass during this run. I can't even name all of it, but that's your man Dwayne McDuffie. Rest in power, sir. Also, just a few of the projects on television and in comics that you have to thank Dwayne McDuffie for. Oh, did I mention Teen Titans and Static? Yeah, that too. Enough said, man. Dwayne McDuffie is the man behind the man behind the man behind the man doing stuff, doing it big. And that's just a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out. I wanted to give to some of the people that I rocked with when I was a shorty, and a lot of them I still rock with today. It's Black History Month. Yeah, it's Black History Month. So I'm gonna be bringing and showcasing a number of things like this, because I try to think outside the box when it comes to Black History Month. Look here, y'all. That's it for now. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.